Welcome to Business Time, the main stage for your business.
Hello and welcome to a new episode on our podcast. And today, if you want to open your business here in the UAE, this is the episode for you. I want to present Habib. Hey Habib, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you, brother?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for coming. I want to present you first of all. Habib Mohamed, you are the owner of Qalam Typing Center.
Correct.
And you are helping a lot of people, to have their own visas in the UAE and also for businesses to get their company set up in the best way. I want to ask you before we dive into a business setup, a little bit about you, about your story, how you even got to the world of typing centers.
So I graduated from Dubai, from a university in Dubai. And then I started, my father, he actually started this typing center. But then I stepped in. I got a job immediately after graduation, but I thought I wanted to do something of my own. So I started to get into this business of typing center. Then I kept on learning things. So I had a very keen interest to know the process, how everything works, and we just tried to help people.
Amazing. And you definitely help people. And for people, because most of the time expats and stuff like that, they come to Dubai, and Dubai doesn't really have typing centers. So if you could just explain what the typing center is, what exactly are you doing?
We are based in Sharjah. In Sharjah, we are authorized by the immigration in Sharjah to carry out the transactions for the government. But in Dubai, they have now introduced Amir back like 2 or 3 years back. They've introduced Amir, which is a government transaction center, which is a franchise. It's also a kind of typing center, but in Dubai, they don't call it typing center anymore. They call it the Amir Center, who are authorized by the immigration or different authorities to carry out the transaction. There are also typing centers in Dubai, but they don't mostly focus on government transactions. They just do normal typing work, any kind of form filling, printing and stuff.
Amazing. So definitely, so what you're doing basically is helping, residents and citizens to get everything they need from the government, which is amazing. And we also mentioned that you're helping on business setup. So I wanted to concentrate in this interview for us to explain people that watch us back at home how they can open their business in the best way in the UAE, because sometimes it's a question of in which Emirate you should open your business in, or in other questions. So let's start. What are the most important things you feel that people that wants to open a business here in the UAE should know?
Thank you for asking me this. But the thing is, it does not depend on any particular Emirates. There are 2 types of businesses here in the UAE. The one is mainland, the other one is free zone. So a lot of people get confused, and there is a lot of misinformation regarding which type of business they should open. If the whole goal is to just open a business and just get a visa, then straight away they should go to the free zone. If someone wants to conduct business in the mainland, in the UAE, they need to definitely open a mainland license. If someone wants to come here, they want to do import and export, they don't want to do anything with the mainland, they have their business based somewhere else, they just want to set up a hub, of course they should go for the free zone. Now what happens with a lot of people is they straight away, just for the ease of the process, they try to save money or not go through a complex process. They open in the free zone. But eventually, when they want to conduct the business in the mainland, they need to open another company.
Yeah, so that's a very good explanation. Can you just tell us, because we said if you want to just have your business elsewhere, not in the UAE, it should be better for you to open a free zone.
Correct.
And if you want to do business in the UAE, it's better for you to open a mainland. But are there any other differences between these 2 types of companies?
The whole process, the backbone of this whole process is same. The government is same for respective emirate. The immigration is same. Mostly the other thing, the backbone of this is same. But the whole idea to make a free zone is to set up UAE as a business hub. So for people to come here, do export and import, people to set up the UAE as their business hub, even their primary operation, even if it's not inside the UAE, they should be able to do business anywhere in the world with a free zone license here. So for mainland, when people open a mainland license, the whole goal is to do business within the UAE.
So Habib, the thing is that I'm seeing many times on a company setup and stuff like that, I'm seeing even free zones that offer free company or free investor visa as things like that. So how does this thing even work,
So this is a kind of marketing which used to happen when on TV ads or on supermarket or brochures when they tell you we are giving away free offers. So it's not always like that, but when it comes to this field, because everything, there is a government cost associated with it. Me or you or any free zone, if they want to do it, they cannot offer free licenses, or they cannot give investor visa free for life. At the end of the day, there are costs, government costs, which have to be paid for you to be legal inside the UAE. So people offer this when they say free investor visa for lifetime, they put the charge of the investor visa with the license. So when you call them, when you ask them if my visa is free for life, so I open the license and I don't pay anything for the rest of my life? No. You have to pay the license renewal fees. Again, they're making it into a package, and this is deceptive. There is no need to do this.
Yeah, definitely. So it's very good to know and that you've explained it, because it's I haven't seen it explained it as good as you are trying to do. I want to touch few like key ingredients of opening a business here. Like I opened a business, so I came to know all those things mostly when I came into Dubai, not before. So we can try to give the information now. Let's talk about an office, because I know it's a very important thing. You need to have a registered office for your business. I know that sometimes you don't require to do it on the first year. Sometimes you do. Can you just explain us and what is the type of office you have to open a company here?
Office in Dubai mainland, the Dubai economy, on most of the activities, they've given office waiver, which is like for the first year itself, you are making an instant license without having to register an ijari. The whole reason for this is, like you said, you've opened a new company from back home before you even came to the UAE. So people who want to do it, they can get their visas done, they can get their trade license done without having to have an ijari or an office space. The reason for this is, from a business perspective, when as an entrepreneur you walk inside Dubai, you come to know about a lot of things. Even if I or someone else explains the things, maybe as an entrepreneur, you need to have the feel of the city. So now you have opened an office in a wonderful location. You have chosen the office location. So that's why they offer the free first year ijari. You don't need to have an office for the first year. Secondly, for the free zones, most of them, they operate without office. With a virtual office, they'll give you access to meeting rooms when you need to meet your clients. But technically, they offer you don't need to have an office ijari.
Okay, so that's maybe another thing to consider when you deciding between a mainland and a free zone, because a lot of people like to work from home, so they don't need an office for themselves. So it's also a very important thing. Also want to discuss about taxes, because it's also a main thing. I know that you deal with it a lot. Can you just explain what kinds of taxes I should pay as a company in the UAE?
So firstly, there is VAT, which is 5%. 5% VAT on all the services or products that you're selling here. But the most important thing to note is, if you open a free zone company, you don't need to pay VAT. That is, in the sense, the legality of free zone is you need to conduct the business within the free zone. You either export something, you export it back, or you're offering your services within the free zone, you don't need to pay any kind of VAT. For the mainland companies, of course, if you're doing any kind of local trading, you need to pay a 5% VAT on that. If you are just importing something to the UAE, which is VAT exempt, so you don't need to pay, you pay zero taxes. But when you sell the same product, you pay 5% tax. If you sell it outside the country, if you're exporting it, you don't need to pay any VAT. So there is exemption on import and export for the mainland licenses. But for the free zone, there is no VAT.
I see.
Also, the UAE has introduced the corporate tax, which is for the companies, the businesses. On their net income, they need to pay 10% tax to the government, which is from the year 2025.
Amazing.
But everybody needs to register for it.
Yeah, so that's also a very good, important thing to know, because people, and we are also saying, that Dubai and UAE is tax-free. And now there is, this one thing. It's still very, very low compared to all over the world.
The whole tax-free phrase, it comes from the income tax, which is there in a lot of Western countries. In a lot of other countries, they have this income tax. People who are working, if someone is working for any company, he does not need to worry about any kind of taxes. He is not paying an income tax. This is just for the corporate, the businesses which are they have a threshold, which is the net income should be more than 387,000 for them to be eligible to pay 10% tax to the government.
Yeah, definitely. The dollars or dirham? In what?
Dirhams.
Dirhams. Okay, so it's very important to say that, of course. And one more thing that I wanted to ask you is about employees, because I know it's also a main thing. If I want to hire employees here in the UAE, I have to go through a series of legal things and to pay some fees. So if you could just elaborate on that, please.
Yeah, sure. So the employees, for the employees, the process here in the UAE is very simple. If you need to hire someone from outside the country, you send him the offer letter, he signs the offer letter, you give him a visa, he comes here, gets his Emirates ID. Also, people here inside the UAE legally, irrespective of their current status, you're able to hire them as well. So unlike many other countries, the Dubai or the UAE in general, they have a very straightforward process to hire the employees. So we do the process from start to end, which is from the job offer till the person comes and receives his Emirates ID.
And I should be registered at Moher or anything like that to make sure that...
So the free zone companies, the free zone authority itself completes everything. For the Ministry of Labor, which is for the private companies inside the mainland, for them, the labor authority is Ministry of Human Resources, Moher, and for the immigration, it's the same.
So, Muhammad, we've been speaking a lot about the other fees of businesses that sometimes they don't even know. And you mentioned the renewal fees. So can you just elaborate on that? Like what kind of renewal fees I should pay, how much it costs, and it should be also for employer visa, for another things but the company itself?
For the renewal fees in the free zone, they mention it to you. But when you ask them, maybe in the ad or maybe in the brochure, it's not clearly mentioned. You need to get the information. In the free zone, it's very straightforward. If you ask for the information, they are bound to give it to you. So you know everything, how much you're going to pay for the employee visas and how much you need to pay for the license. For the mainland, if you don't have an office, your annual fees depends on the ijari, the office agreement, which you're going to get. So that depends on your office rent. It's the percentage of the office rent for the renewal of the trade license. Also, if you have employees, if you have employee visas, so these costs are going to rise.
All right.
There are very different costs for the employer visas because it depends on the company category in the Mohre and depends on the labor fees that you're going to pay. But for the license, mainly it depends on the rent amount that you have.
All right, so it's definitely like it's an elaborate process that each of is in his own office and his own employees, as you mentioned. We also mentioned one thing that does have to do with the employees, but also with the employers, which is the amnesty program that now been launched in the UAE, helping people that their visas expired or people with problems with their visas to renew and get a job in the UAE. So, and I know that your typing center deals with many of those requests. So can you just elaborate on that?
I think after I started my company, after I came into this field in 2020, this is the first time that I've seen an amnesty program myself. Before, I heard about the programs that were offered before, but I must say this is the best amnesty program that the UAE is offering. Because if someone is a violator for the residency, a newborn person who's a visa, someone who's a visa violator, any kind of violator that is there inside the country, they are giving the government, the UAE government is giving them a golden opportunity to legalize themselves. If they want to go back to their country without paying the fines, they can simply take a leave permit. The government fees for the leave permit were 350 dirhams. Right now, they have waived that fees. That means if you come to my typing center or if you visit any typing center, you're just going to pay the typing service charges. That's it. The government does not want any money. They just want you to legalize your status. If someone whose visa is not cancelled, the old residency is not cancelled, it's expired and they have fines, they can directly apply for a new job offer without needing to cancel the old residency, which is just amazing because the process is very straightforward. If you need to exit, take a leave permit, you can exit. If you need to process a new visa, just forget whatever happened with you earlier. If you had fines, if you had anything, it's okay. Just legalize yourself.
Amazing. So definitely a good thing for everyone that wants to legalize his business, his own staying in the UAE. I also want you to just explain us a little bit what is the process of opening a business in the UAE looks like. So if I want to open my business and I'm coming to your typing center, what is this process looks like? What things we need to know?
In technical terms, the process to open the business is you need to first obtain an initial approval. They call it initial approval, they call it the security approval, something like this, which gives you clearance from the UAE government. The government does not have any objection. It's like a background check. After the initial approval is done, you can get your trade name and then you can get your trade license and office space if you want to get it. So after which you're going to register your company in the immigration, and then you can get your investor visa. And if you want to hire employees in a private company, you need to register with Ministry of Labor. If the company is in a free zone, straight up you can start hiring employees.
Great. So this is the entire process for us, and also for obtaining a visa. Let's say if I'm an expat and I want to open a business here and using this business, of course, to get a visa here. So what is the continuation of this process to me?
Actually, this is a very good question. We were one of the first companies to offer businessmen, offer entrepreneurs to open a business in the UAE without even having to come here. So someone who's already visited the UAE, for us, this process is straightforward. We just need the passport copy and the person photo to begin the process. For someone who has not visited the UAE before, we might have to apply for a visit visa so we can get a unified number. Once we have the unified number, we can work with the UAE government to get a trade license and then issue an investor visa.
So it's and how much time this process takes? Like, let's say I want to open a business and I want to come to the UAE. So how long will it take me to from the moment we're starting to open the business until the time I can come to the UAE with my own investor visa? Like how long?
It's safe to say that to get the entire process done, including an investor visa, to come inside the UAE, you would need a minimum of 5 working days. 5 working days is a good time where everything can be resolved.
Amazing. So I know places in the world where it can take 6 months, this process, So here in the UAE, it's amazing that they really gave you the opportunity to do it that fast and that quick, and it's amazing. Yes. One more thing, Habib, I know that you opened a TikTok page. It's been really successful. It's called PR Expert UAE. Can you just explain us what can you find there?
I am not a very heavy social media user right now because I've been very busy with my business. But whenever I go into the social media, especially TikTok or Instagram Reels, I see everything is an ad. So when you're getting information, someone's trying to sell you something, which might not be bad, but I just kind of noticed this trend. So there is a lot of misinformation as well. There is good information and there is misinformation as well. So I wanted to create this page to give people the correct information in this field. So especially when it comes to government transactions or government regulations, sometimes people might read too much, sometimes too less, sometimes they get half-baked information. So I just wanted to create a page where the knowledge that I have, I want to share it with the followers or the subscribers that I have on the social media.
It's amazing. And it's, I feel that this is the best way to grow online. Like if you just give your own information without the fear of someone will not buy from you at the end, I feel it's the best way to go. So Habib, I've learned so much from this conversation with you. I opened a business myself and I'm running a business here for a few months now, and I've learned a lot from this conversation. So thank you for it. Is there anything else you would like to share with our viewers before we finish this episode?
Yes, of course. I just want to share the journey. I just want to share how I started this again. When I finished college, I was offered a job, but I quit the job very soon. I wanted to start something of my own. I have not been doing a very heavy marketing for my business. What I used to do is I used to sit with my customers. I need to have a conversation. So let's say if I have 1 hour, out of which 10 minutes I was doing conversation, that people-to-people connection that I have. Right now I have a business, but most of the time, whenever I get time, I try to go there, sit there, speak to the customers. So I like to learn a lot from the stories of the customers that they have. And this is what I enjoy. So I kept on learning this and to have a meaningful conversation with them. And someone who has any problem in this field of, getting their visa sorted or business set up, if someone has a problem, more than the person himself, I'm very interested to solve it. Irrespective of the fees that is included in here, the fees that he has to pay me, I'm very interested in the problem. If I see something first time. So that's when we started to grow. So without doing heavy marketing, people to people, they have, done some wonderful job. My customers, they've gotten many new customers.
Amazing. So what you're saying basically, as your marketing is your business is important, but also
The
listen to
service,
your clients and help them solve their real issues and get rewarded for
when you
that.
offer the service to the customer, then he becomes your marketer. So you don't need to do any external marketing. So same thing here. If the PR expert UAE page that I've opened, I want to give information to the people. If they want to contact me without any fees, without anything, just if I'm able to help them, I'm happy.
Amazing. So it's really amazing to hear you say that, because it's also your business, and
correct.
hearing that you're willing and you understand that giving this information for free is basically the best thing you can do for yourself and for your business.
And maybe in future they will come with me. They will send some customer. It's okay. But their problem should be resolved.
Amazing. So I definitely agree with you with that, and I think it's the best content strategy for social media if you hear and you want to grow your own. Mohamed Habib, Qalam Typing Center, it's been a pleasure speaking to you, and thank you so much for this conversation. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Business Time, the main stage for your business.